Welcome to this video tutorial covering primary care networks for service providers. The tutorial duration is approximately 20 minutes. Service providers using CQRS will follow a different process compared to non-PCN services, and these will be very straightforward with minimal work involved for the service providers. There are also some changes to how service providers will view PCN service information within CQRS. PCN services are offered to GP practices from the lead commissioning organisation through the PCN as a whole entity. Commissioners will not be able to deselect GP practices. If an organisation leaves the network early, CQRS will automatically end their participation. These services can use a new value called weighted practice list size, which is a modified version of contractor registered population, and this will be automatically populated in CQRS for calculation. There will be two new user roles available in CQRS. These are PCN View, which is available to GP practice and PCN organisations and provides access to new dashboards that allow the user to view all GP practices within their PCN, including data submission details and payment declaration details. They'll also have expanded reporting to enable users to view additional organisations. PCN management is available to PCN organisations and provides access to dashboards that allow the user to view all GP practices within their PCN, including data submission details and payment declaration details. Service providers can add or update GP practice data within their PCN and have expanded reporting to enable them to view additional organisations. It is important that you also download a copy of the guide titled PCNs for Commissioning Organisations, as well as watching both video tutorials in modules 11 and 12 so that you have a much greater understanding of the end-to-end process. Disclaimer information that all names, images and any financial information are completely fictitious and have been created entirely for training purposes and do not relate to any real organisations. Let us take a look at the end-to-end PCN process. The PCN functionality has a very straightforward flow in CQRS with limited actions for both the service provider and for the commissioning organisation. The flow, which you will see on the next page, will also display a colour key to represent who actions which process. This is how it works. Step 1. The commissioner selects the quality service that he or she wishes to offer out. Step 2. The service details are defined, which includes checking start and end dates. Step 3. This step is bypassed and therefore the commissioner will not have the ability to select or deselect any service provider, as it will automatically include every service provider under that particular PCN. Step 4 is to review the information to ensure that everything is correct. Step 5 is the final step in which to submit the offer. This is now automatically approved by all the participating service providers. A service provider can look at this or any other service they are participating in under the Approved option under Participation Management. Auto Declare means that the service provider will not have to submit any achievement data to the commissioner, as this is automatically declared. The status will now be showing as awaiting commissioning organisation approval. The commissioner will then approve the achievement. This will then move into a status of awaiting network achievement to wait for 100% of the payment declarations to be approved by the commissioner. Once 100% threshold is met, the individual payments are summed into an aggregated payment, which is a process that occurs overnight. This aggregated payment is then awaiting financial approval. Once approved, it is then sent to the payment agency. Usually the National Health Applications and Infrastructure, or NHAIS, for payment to be made. In this module, you will learn about viewing your auto-approved service, the services which have auto-declared achievement, the PCN services which require a manual declaration, network achievement, aggregation and financial approval process, frequency of calculations, and information about nominated payees. When the commissioning organisation offers out a PCN service, they are automatically approved by each service provider within that particular PCN. There is only one PCN exception to this, which is the Network Participation Payment 2020-2021. Viewing these auto-approved services is very simple and can be viewed from the Participation Management screen within CQRS. You can view which services have been auto-approved by clicking on the Participation Management tab, My Services sub-tab, followed by selecting your financial year, and then making sure that the approved status is displayed within the quality service status. Your quality service, along with key information, will be displayed. The status shows that it has been approved. Auto-declared achievement is different to the services which have been offered to you previously and have required manual or auto data submission. The PCN services do not require you to do this as it is automatically declared. The three PCN services are PCN Core PCN Funding 2021, PCN Clinical Director Payment 2021, and PCN Extended Hours Access Payments 2021. There is some useful information within the description box which provides guidance on payment frequencies, as well as advising you that no GPES extract or manual data entry would be required. As mentioned earlier on in the tutorial, the Primary Care Networks 2020-2021 is the only service which will require a data extraction. This will be auto-extracted at quarterly frequencies. This data will be collected at GP practice level and then reported in CQRS at both practice and PCN level. CQRS will need data to calculate achievement for this service, and it obtains this data from GP practices primarily through the General Practice Extraction Service, or GPES. CQRS only gets data from a GP practice where a service provider is participating in a quality service. GPES will only send aggregate data to CQRS. CQRS does not store or transmit any patient-level data. Note that training and support for GPES will be provided separately online by NHS Digital, GPES, and through your GP clinical system supplier. Once an individual payment amount within a PCN is approved, it is moved to the new Awaiting Network Achievement status to wait for 100% of the payment declarations to be approved by the commissioning organisation before moving on for final approvals. Once 100% threshold is met, the individual payments are summed into an aggregated payment declaration for the PCN. This is a process that occurs overnight. These payments will be made to the nominated payee or paid directly to the PCN if no nominated payee exists. The individual payment status life cycle is awaiting commissioning organisation approval, awaiting network achievement, aggregated where a new aggregated payment is created, and aggregated complete. An aggregated payment was financially approved. To check your own PCN achievement, click on the Achievement tab, followed by the Network Declaration sub-tab. Select the financial year, the quality service, and the achievement date. In this example, we can see that there is a status of awaiting network achievement. Once 100% has been approved by the Commissioner, it will change to a status of aggregated. Detailed guidance relating to network achievement, aggregation, and the financial approval process can be found in Module 11, PCNs for Commissioning Organisations. Information on payment calculations is displayed below. There is some very useful information contained within the description of each of the PCN quality services. There is an indication of payment frequencies, as well as detailing the provision of data entry requirements earlier on in the module. For quarterly calculations, this is for primary care networks 2021. For monthly calculations is for clinical director payment 2021, core PCN funding 2021, extended hours access payment 2021, and finally network participation payment 2021. Your nominated payee will receive the total sum value for the whole network to manage the individual payments and to distribute accordingly. If there isn't a nominated payee, all network payments will be sent to the PCN, who will then distribute the funds to the service providers. This concludes the training module. You can also find additional training resources in the CQRS Learning Centre. The Online Courses tab contains more in-depth training modules for both commissioning organisations and service providers. The Job Aids and Tutorials tab contains simulation tutorials that demonstrate the specific steps required to complete common and/or critical CQRS tasks. And finally, you can view, print or download the CQRS user guide directly from the CQRS system itself. Please find links to the additional information on this page.